We want to get up close and personal, meeting people from all walks of life, sharing stories along the way, a very human journey on Peter's on the Block. And today's guest is...
नमस्ते, मेरा नाम लकी है और मैं पीटर का बहुत गहरा दोस्त हूँ।
Woohoo! I have no idea what you said, but I cheered anyway. You could have said Peter is an idiot. Never listen again to him.
It came in my mind, but I said, hello everyone, and I'm Peter's very good friend Lucky. But now you mentioned about yourself.
I will translate that into Hindi later. Was that Hindi, by the way?
That was Hindi.
Okay, namaste. Everyone knows that greeting. Yeah. Doesn't that literally mean something like peace or something? No? Is it?
Well, it has a lot of meanings.
Okay.
One good thing is you can say namaste as a hi and also as a goodbye.
Good. I like those words.
Yes.
Double meanings. You can use it for hello and goodbye.
Double meaning has a different meaning by that.
In Korea, we've talked about that to our listeners before. Annyeong, if you're informal, can mean both hi and bye as well. In English, we unfortunately don't have a word to double up. But Lucky is in the studio. For anyone who doesn't know you, Lucky, could you introduce yourself? I think many of our listeners, though, they're really up to date with a lot of Korean culture.
I always feel very humbled and very proud to introduce myself. You know, not many of us get this chance.
This is true, yes.
So, hi everyone. My name is Lucky. I have been in Korea for 28 years as a broadcaster, businessman, and running a small restaurant in Hapjeong.
Wow.
And also Peter's very good friend.
That's the most important thing, okay, that you are my very good friend. And I was saying before introducing you, I think we first met on See What I See with ARIRANG TV. But am I wrong? Do you have any other... You probably don't remember.
I think we met for the KBS show when you were with your mom.
Is that before that, maybe? My Neighbor Charles.
Yes, I think it was in the same week. We don't know the exact timeline because it was like 200 years ago.
Okay, it was a very long time ago. You're right. That was like...
But nonetheless, I had a very huge impact of that because I get to see your mom and she was such an amazing person. So I kind of feel like that was our first meeting.
Yeah, it could well have been. And my mom really liked
you. You might be right as well.
It could be See What I See, because many of you guys watched the ARIRANG TV side of things, so Lucky was in that season.
You know, I have this belief, like, if you can't make them believe, confuse them. So we don't know exactly.
So let's just confuse them. That's good. Apart from that, have you got any history with ARIRANG? Have you done a few things here?
I mean, like, back in the days when you have this legendary Isaacs and Dorothy Nams. And,
you know, Isaac is still here.
I know. It's like, I don't know what kind of vitamin he's taking, but... So, yeah, I mean, like, back in the days, you know, like, we had a small skit and two of my friends, we had a small band called DOG. It was reverse of GOD.
Oh, wow. DOG. Like dog.
Yeah, like a dog. So, and
you had a band?
I mean, like, if we tried, you know, when you're a kid, we're still a kid, but we tried to do different things. So we were big GOD fans and we tried to do. So we had a small corner on ARIRANG talking about music and stuff.
But that was on radio?
Radio, yes.
Oh, wow. Yeah. That's amazing.
I'm your big zombie, Peter.
You are. Thank you. I need to say chondemo to you if we're speaking Korean. But thankfully, we're not speaking Korean. You, as many people in Korea will know, you're the most famous Indian. Maybe, I was thinking this, are you the longest running foreign, like, 방송인 who's still going today? I think so, right?
Honestly, I don't know this exact records or timeline.
Yeah.
Like all of us who've been to Korea have a different reason to come.
Of course.
To begin with, I never come to Korea to become a broadcaster. You know, I come to study and thought maybe I'll do some living over here.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But things happen.
Yeah.
And I keep on doing it because I was just telling the writer on the elevator, she's like, oh, Lucky, you've been working so hard. I said, like, there are so many foreigners who can speak Korean now. And, you know, it just keep you at the edge, on the edge.
Yeah, and they're going to push us over the edge one day, right? All those new youngsters.
Like, I take 1 week of holiday and Peter is in all the shows I'm doing. So, yes.
Yeah, it's interesting how things have changed. But you were first on Korean TV, what, back in the 90s?
97, I did. Yeah, you know, like you're studying in Uhaktang and then people finding some foreigners who can speak Korean. So you get chance. You don't plan these things.
Yeah.
Like I always say, like the best plan is no plan. You know, we never planned for this.
I think
very
so.
fortunate, very thankful.
Yeah.
And started with that. And I did this thing in 2001 for KBS.
Yeah.
Which was like I was traveling all over Korea and experiencing. This is like right before the FIFA World Cup 2002.
Oh, nice.
They wanted to see the foreign perspective. perspective about Korea. So yeah,
You got to travel and
I
broadcast.
traveled intensely. I think that improved my knowledge about Korean and Korean culture. And that was amazing. I wish I could have a YouTube back then.
That would have been amazing. You would have got the first wave of subscribers. You'd be on 10 billion subscribers.
I
now.
always put like this. I rather saying the longest working foreigner here in Korea. I would say I have experience of seeing Korea in analog and digital. So before 2002, it was more analogish.
That's true.
And after 2002, very digital. So I think I'm fortunate enough to experience both of those.
You've crossed both those time periods.
Yes, one of those last extendable animals, like rare species.
You should be in the zoo, Lucky. No, I feel sorry for my kids from time to time because they haven't experienced any kind of analog society, growing up now.
They experience their father.
Yeah, I'm very analog. They're right. That's right. So apart from that, you mentioned in your intro, you do business and you also run a restaurant.
Yes.
So I've been to your restaurant.
Yeah.
I think it's hands down the best Indian restaurant in Korea. What made you start that? I mean, are you a good cook yourself?
So, when you work in television, you get so many questions like, tell me this about India.
Yeah.
I want to know. And you can talk about a country's culture by various methods. You can talk about history or music, movies.
Yeah.
I thought through food, I can also connect. So I think that was a little trigger.
Yeah.
And I thought, because I have no experience with F&B.
Okay.
Good thing is I'm not the chef in the kitchen.
Can you cook well, Lucky? I wonder.
I mean, like any expat who's living abroad for over 20 years, you can't order every day,
Sure.
So we do the survival cooking that way. But I have two professional chefs, so they do the job very well.
They are amazing. Yeah, Siska wondering if it's still going. It's been many years now, right?
I recently extended the contract for another year.
Oh, cool. When did you start that now?
Year before COVID.
So it's about 5 years then,
About
right?
5 years, yeah.
Wow, well done.
You've been there once or twice in 5 years.
I'm not a regular frequenter. No, but I have been more than that. At least 3 times I can remember, including Alberta's birthday.
I was watching your show on the way, and you're going to meet some amazing chefs later in the evening. Your schedule, your ilchong.
That is my Uchong, yeah.
Yeah, you can go to Paju, but you can't come to Hapcheong.
Yeah, my excuse has always been it's too far from here, but Paju is much further. The difference is they pay me to go.
Exactly.
If you pay me, I'll be there.
We take money to give you food. Difference.
It is the opposite completely. So you go back and forth to India for business and for broadcasting. We were both on the Great Guide show not so long ago. Is Hallyu like a thing in India at the moment? Can you feel it?
I mean, big thing. I mean, just to give a glimpse of it, first thing I will say, India is the number 1 population in the world right now, 1.5 billion.
More than China now, right?
And out of that, half of the population is in their early 20s. So
Wow.
India is the youngest population in the world.
That's amazing.
So the consumer market is very big.
Yeah.
And when I say the youngest people of the world, they are the ones who are consuming content on YouTube or OTTs. And now they are exposed to Korean culture, thanks to
the
Squid
drama
Games
and
and the
everything.
Glories
Yeah.
and BTS, Blackpink, So they're exposed to this kind of culture now. So recently when I went, you go to a local, just like a local grocery, not a big supermarket.
Sure.
You can find all Korean, most of the famous Korean noodles, tteokbokkis. Yeah, it's a big thing now.
Does it match Indian taste buds? Because when I was in the UK, I used to tell Koreans if you want spicy food, there's not really much British food that's spicy. Maybe English mustard, but maybe have Indian food, and then they'd eat it and they'd say, "Oh, that's a very different kind of spicy." It's not similar to Korean.
Korean spices you can mostly feel in your palate, you can feel the aromas. Indian spices are like hidden bombs. They go and explode after a while.
Yes, but they're suitable for Indian taste buds, it seems.
I mean, when we talk about Indian food, we usually generalize Indian food is very spicy or very hot.
Yeah.
Maybe few of it. Not every Korean food is spicy. There's even a tteokbokki has a non-spicy version,
Of course.
Depends how you cook and what you serve. So because of the spiciness, I think the Britishers initially they were shocked
when they went.
And probably that's the impact is so big. Every Indian food is generalized to be spicy. I would say only 20% of Indian menu is spicy. We have even in my restaurant, we have amazing vegan menus from lentils to kidney beans, which are not spicy, high in protein, very delicious.
Okay, and healthy as well. And then vice versa, Indian people seem to like the more stimulating, like ramyuns and things like that, the instant noodles and whatnot?
So that's. I mean, like most of Indians, they love it, but again, there are exemptions.
Of
So
course.
those people like probably the kimbaps
Yeah.
or maybe something more milder, like a doenjang soup. Yeah.
So it's not all like going
Yes.
crazy over puldak, the crazy fire chicken noodles.
That's Peter's regular breakfast, by the way.
Absolutely. That's why I'm on the toilet all the time. Leon, keep on getting in your questions because you asked this to Lucky. Do you think South Korea has gotten more foreigner-friendly over the years? And what's the biggest challenge that you think a foreigner living in South Korea faces nowadays?
To be very honest, it has immensely become foreign-friendly, expat-friendly. And I think a foreigner to have any challenges in Korea will be very challenging because now, first of all, like Korea is living in 2050. We all say that, so especially because the internet speed, and you feel this like recently when I went to India, you realize the internet is not as fast or the compatibility of language, translation. I think Korea has done really well in that perspective. So you really have to have an IQ of under 10 to struggle in Seoul.
It used to be very difficult if you didn't speak Korean here, right? When you first came here, what was it like? You didn't speak any Korean, I assume, when you first arrived.
You know why my Korean got better first? I had nothing else to do.
No
besides
choice.
go to the school and study because
Wow.
I came, there are a few things. I came in 1996. Seoul Subway was only till number 4 line.
Oh, wow.
So everything else I saw in process. And of course, no internet. Internet was invented, but was not in daily use.
Sure.
No handphones, no smartphones.
Wow.
So my biggest challenge was to find a place. Like I remember like initial, like in late 90s, I was called to to ARIRANG studio. And I was living in Hongdae.
Okay, so quite
no
far.
idea how to get here. No idea how to get. Like ask
no
10 people
apps
on
or
the-
anything, right?
No apps, nothing. So like communicating with the writers, and you don't have mobile phones as well. So carrying coins in the pocket to go to your
Payphone.
Yeah,
Oh
I mean
my
like I was totally
goodness.
different world.
That is crazy.
Struggle should be deleted from dictionary now.
Yeah, the youngsters today, they don't know what struggling is at all.
Two condes in Arirang.
Yeah, we are the old fogies here. But then what's keeping you here, Lucky? Because I assume, you could go back to India, you could live a nice life there.
I'm living a very nice life here as well.
Of
I
course.
always say like, you can have good and bad experience anywhere in the world.
Yeah.
And, you have your troubles, whatever. It's part of life. It's not part of the country. So it depends where you're living your life.
Yeah.
So I think I'm living my life very well. And I still think, people think like Lucky is very successful. He has like he's be like this. But I still think I'm a struggler,
really?
I haven't achieved where I see myself.
You're still motivated to achieve more and more.
Every day.
That's what keeps you hungry, and that's what sets you apart, Lucky, I think, from other broadcasters, because you've got your business on the side, your restaurant as well. I don't know, those could be said to be your main things.
You
even.
look a little fatigued, Peter. You need a rest.
I'm very tired. You can take over, Lucky, absolutely. I didn't know this. I wonder if this is true. Is this some incorrect information from a writer? Did you turn down a role in Squid Game that you mentioned earlier, like Indians watching?
So, to be very precise, to be very honest, I didn't turn down the role for Squid Game. When the role came to me, it was never told to me it's a Squid Game role.
Okay.
And Squid Game was not happened then. So we didn't know the impact of it.
This is true, yeah.
I just got a random message from the producers like, we're looking for a role of this guy. Can you come for audition? And and I was the most famous Indian, So when
like,
that random message came like, an audition for illegal immigrant here, my ego just punched me twice.
That's so intriguing because that guy, I forget his name.
Anupam Tripathi. He's a very good friend.
I've not met him before, but I heard recently from another Indian that we both know, Tumul, that maybe he's gone to India to do acting or something.
No, he did a little series on a real life hijacking. It's called IC. So it's on Netflix. It's a very good show.
Wow.
So I mean, like, of course, he's back and forth. He still has an agent here.
Okay. So he got a lot of fame from Squid Game, of course,
Absolutely.
right? Do you regret turning that down, Lucky? Because I would have done the same thing as you, to be honest. If I got random message...
why I don't regret not doing that? if I would done that, I would not be sitting with you right now.
You'd be in Hollywood somewhere, wouldn't you?
So, you miss something, but you gain good friends.
Oh, that's a lovely way to put it. So you really regret it then, right? So
My tears.
we do have some Indian listeners from time to time.
Okay.
Athma's a regular one. But for anyone else who's maybe not been to India, a lot of our listeners, myself included, what are some of the charms of India? What would you recommend about going there?
Recently, the show Peter just mentioned, we did the show. What do you call that?
Great Guide, I
The
think.
Great Guide.
Yeah,
So
it looked amazing, to be
So
honest.
you can see the few parts of that on YouTube to get a reference. But just keeping it short, right now, India is the best time to visit because the summers have over. The rainy season is finished.
Not too hot.
Not too hot, not too dry, and you can go to Delhi. There are direct flights from Korea, and go to Delhi. And Delhi has become so beautiful. You know why? Delhi's the capital, but also the capital of the food business in India.
Oh, nice.
Amazing food places.
Yeah.
One place to remember if you go to Delhi now, because you will see a lot of YouTubers and they are saying things from so many. This is good, but you have to see the young life of India now.
Okay.
So like the Apgujangs or Chongdams,
So not like necessarily the Taj Mahal or some historical place.
That I don't have to speak. You will find it anyways.
Sure.
You land in Delhi. 20 minutes from the international airport, there's a place called Aero City.
Aero City.
Aero City. Why? Because it's nearby the airport. So it's a new development like, oh my goodness. So many things you can do there.
Young and hip and
Young and
happening.
hip, amazing lounge, club, restaurants and stuff. Yeah.
So there's lots of places to like party, just like in Seoul. Like some people might think, a lot of people are religious.
You will feel very safe, very secure, and it's not very expensive. Like people think like if you're going to a good place, it's very expensive or for limited, or maybe only for the royal
VIPs,
families or no. India is very different now.
Wow.
The young people like to enjoy their money and want to have a good life. So yeah.
And foreigners can easily incorporate into
Absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. Aero City in New Delhi.
And if you had to recommend like one Indian dish, apart from, of course, our favorite chicken tikka masala, what would it be?
It's not his favorite. I think that's the only food you know.
I want to find in Korea good poppadoms, to be honest. I love poppadoms and mango chutney.
Papadum is like a side panchan, so it's not, you can call it a main dish.
Right?
It's not a dish.
What would you recommend for Koreans in particular?
So, I'm a big meat lover. I love my kalbis and stuff. But I also like to balance my food very well. So, I'm very much into like edible and like, how you say, like vegan.
Oh, vegan, okay.
Yeah. So if you like chickpeas or
love
kidney
chickpeas.
beans or yellow lentil, we make some amazing dal. Dal. So just go to an Indian restaurant and ask them for the yellow lentil dal. I think Indians, they don't offer it or don't tell to foreigners because it's a very staple, like a very home-cooked food.
Sure.
And there's not a big flex in it.
Yeah.
But for Koreans, when they try the yellow dal, they're like, wow, this is so delicious.
Wow.
So amazing.
What is a dal? What categorizes a dal?
So dal, because it's high on protein and you use your turmeric, has minimum of the masalas, and it's like a broth of lentil.
Wow.
So when you eat it, you have that very nice aromatic flavors in your mouth, very high on protein, so good for your health.
Healthy.
And good for digestion as well.
And then you eat that with what? Some naan or rice?
You can eat
or...
with your naan, but traditionally in India we eat dal with chawal. Chawal is rice. So dal chawal can also be like a greeting in India. Like
really?
in Korea you say "밥 먹었어" can be a greeting.
Yeah, have
in
you
India,
eaten
dal chawal khā liya means
Really?
oh, are you doing well?
Oh, nice. We've learned some Indian as well today. In terms of the two cultures, would you say they're similar? Because as a Brit, I feel Korea and Britain are so opposite. Like Brits are slow and very conservative and nothing changes, and Korea's just like
You can use this phrase with Brits and rest of the world.
everyone else compared to Korea is slow and conservative. Is India the same then? Like not like Korea, everything's changing all the time.
India and Korea are both part of Asia. So of course there are a lot of similarities. If you go back to the history, Indian princess was married to the Korean king, King Suro, and India and Korea, culturally, we are very posuchok. We are conservative that way. But also, because traditionally we are very posuchok, we want to show the world we belong there. Also, so there is a balance that way. So I think that's a big similarity in the thought process.
Yeah.
But now coming back into differences, of course, the climate. Korea has a very different climate. The food habits. Most of the Korean food, I think, is fermented.
Yeah.
And
so
Indian
much.
food, because of the climate, we cook our food on daily basis before the fridges were invented.
And just eat it
lunch
straight
will
away.
lunch will be cooked for the lunch and dinner will be cooked for the dinner.
You don't store anything.
We don't store, very fresh. So that's a big difference. That's why we drink a lot of lassi, the Indian the yogurt
Yogurt
drink,
drink.
because
What's that
there's
for?
no lassi.
Yeah. Why do you drink that?
Because the rest of the Indian food, there's no fermentation.
So you get it from
probiotics.
there.
Yes, for the probiotics
Through
we
the
use the
lassi.
yogurt. Yeah.
That's amazing. I'm getting so much information today. We're getting our money's worth today.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Am I getting paid?
Definitely. Leon says one thing I find interesting about India is the time zone. Because it's such a big country, are there multiple time zones in India?
If we want to do that, there could be multiple time zones, but just for the sake of being comfortable and efficiency, I think we only have one time zone. Indian Standard Time, IST. We also call it Indian Slow Time sometimes.
Is that meaning that Indians are pretty laid back and relaxed with their time?
Very much, very much.
Like if you're late, it's not such a big deal.
It wasn't a big deal back in the days, but recently when I went to India, thanks to the technology, you have to put the cards on the machines when you get in the office. So everything is recorded that way. So those fun days, when you could just say like, it's all right, the traffic was bad, doesn't work anymore.
Really? So they're changing even that side of things.
India is one of the biggest IT superpowers. So of course, most of the offices now have this card system. So everything is recorded digitally. So you can't.
Yeah, and they've still got a lot of branch offices and like call centers, I believe, in India for like foreign companies. So they can't run to a completely different time scale or anything like that, right? We've got Noor saying, my mother-in-law always prepared vegetarian food every Friday.
Lovely.
I love meat, though, and I like Indian food, but I don't like the veggie side of it. Yeah, Indian food has a lot of good meat in it, right? I love the lamb curries and things like this.
And also, if you like Indian vegetables, like, there is a dish called palak paneer. It's made from the spinach. Traditionally, it's supposed to be just vegan.
Yeah.
But we also like to make it like a palak spinach with the chicken. The chicken version is amazing.
Okay, you can get that together. Because I've only heard of the palak paneer. Oh, there's chicken version. I'm going to ask for that.
There's a lamb version as well.
I'm going to go. I'm going to go to my local Indian. Although my local Indian, I believe, is run by a big Korean-like chain, and so it's not going to be completely authentic. Is that something, if you're in Korea trying to get Indian food, do you need to be careful? I mean, are there really monstrosities of Indian food, or is it not bad?
See, I mean, like, just because somebody else is bad doesn't make me good, So I always believe in that philosophy. I have to do my part, so I don't judge what people are doing. If it's working for them, so it's like that. I can only tell, like, what we are doing. So my concept is we try to keep everything fresh. I have only one fridge in my big restaurant.
Oh, wow.
So we don't fridge anything. We try to cook everything fresh.
Every day.
So in my restaurant, if you order, you have to wait at least 20 minutes to get the food because everything is cooked from the scratch.
It's being cooked, isn't it? Yeah. In Korea, that's a long time to wait for your food, isn't it? Your real name, like on your passport, is not Lucky, right?
No.
No. What is your... I know your name, actually. Abhishek, right?
Thank you.
When did you take that up as a nickname? Was that in Korea or from India?
So I'm not the unique Indian. Every Indian, most of the Indians, they have a nickname.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And like the passport name, Abhishek, is something like a unique, divine, holy name the parents give on your passport because it's the thought process, like it will bring the energy to the person.
Yeah.
But then it becomes very long, and so there is a nickname by the parents, like Peter will become a P.
Okay. And then that's what most people would just call you your whole life.
Exactly. So because I was the youngest one in the family, good luck in the family, they called me Lucky.
Oh, that's nice. So will they never use your real name, or when you're getting in trouble, will they say?
Only in the school and airlines and in the regional high courts. Yeah.
Oh, I never knew that. In Korea, I guess a lot of people just use their names. Some people have nicknames at school. But,
yes, I mean, like now, if you see it this way, like Korea has 3 name relation. Like so they always call like the initial of SG or SW or KI, So
yeah, it's the same number of syllables. In Indian, it's like English. There's multiple different syllable names, like Abhishek, or 2 syllables, or 3 syllables, 4. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. It depends on, because India is like, you have to understand, India is not one country. They're like different ethnic groups and languages, multicultural country. And so you have to speak at least 20 times to describe India, because one thing does not represent all of India.
Yeah, it's such a huge place
Yeah.
as well. Siska from Jakarta saying, do you have any Indian Korean fusion food? I'm guessing maybe at your restaurant, but also in general, is there any good crossover?
Unfortunately, I try to keep the food in my restaurant as authentic as possible. So it's very, there is no fusion, I would say. I'm not against it.
No.
But if you want to try a good Indian Korean fusion, use the tandoori masalas on the samgyeopsal.
Oh, really?
Just overnight marinate in tandoori masalas and cook your samgyeopsal next day. Unique.
Wow.
Bellissimo.
That would be amazing.
That's delicious.
Like samgyeopsal with anything is amazing,
Yes,
but I imagine that would be amazing.
but because usually samgyeopsal has such a good flavors, but if you do a like aging process of samgyeopsal with this
Yeah.
kind of masalas, oh my goodness, it's very delicious.
Does that not usually happen in India? You don't have the pork with
No,
the masala?
some people, I mean, like the vindaloo, a lot of Britishers, actually the best version of vindaloo is his pork. So it's a pork vindaloo.
Yeah.
It's a Goan dish, very delicious. So depends on which part of India, the meat consumption trends are different.
Very different.
Usually we try to eat lamb and chicken and fish,
Yeah.
but some part of India can make dishes with beef or with the pork.
Yeah, when I was young, I used to think that nobody ate beef in India. But
It's. I think this terminology or this concept has been somehow marketed very well by the Britishers. Like
British
India is against the
divide
cow,
and
they divide the holy
conquer,
cow,
yeah.
or they only eat with the right hand, and
Yeah.
all this thing. It's a funny thing.
Yeah.
What's the most famous river in India?
the Ganges.
The Ganges. Indians never call it Ganges.
Oh,
The name was made by the Britishers.
What was it
we
called?
call it Ganga.
Ganga.
Ganga. So if you go to India and say Ganges, most of the people won't understand what you're talking about.
Really? Well done, Britain, for ruining another country there. Steve from San Francisco saying, Lucky, is Bangalore and Mumbai, are those still the primary high-tech cities in India?
Yes, Bangalore, is, of course, you can call it the Silicon Valley, but also New Delhi has become a big hub now as well. So
Really?
Yeah.
It is the country to watch, isn't it? Because China's population has decreased. India is still on the increase, right? Still increasing.
So I think if you see most of the trends are like, I won't say like, like I'm not an investor professional that way, but if you see India has a very good future in next 10 years because it's the youngest consumer market. I think US developed by consuming, China developed by manufacturing.
Yeah.
India will be the first country which will grow by manufacturing and consuming because we are
Both of
both
those.
of them.
Wow.
So you can see the big Teslas or Apples now shifting the units in India now. So that's for a reason. So yeah, India has a good future, but now like the world safe the wars and all this. We have to look that as well. But I think
Sure.
India will do well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's the country to watch at the moment. Is there a lot going on between Korea and India? Like in terms of trade and things?
Last year, India and Korea had 50 years of diplomatic relationships, so that was a big milestone. But besides that, I think it could be a little bit. This is from my other show. I had this data. 800 mid-sized company registered in India last year. From Korea.
Wow, from Korea.
Yeah, from Korea. So you will, and I think in this, in end of November, there's about 500 Korean mid-sized companies going to India for another project. So there's a lot of exchange happening because Korea is very strong in manufacturing, and India is the next destination for them. So yes.
That's fantastic. Are there lots of Indian things in Korea in terms of like trade? Apart from Lucky, apart from your Indian restaurant,
No.
Are there like big brands and stuff that have made headway here, like consumer brands?
I mean, I don't know if I can speak this on radio, but Korea has a culture of drinking, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And now, after drinking, is the culture of how to do the hejang is also a big culture.
Of course,
Your
the hangover
saunas
cures,
and
yeah.
the things. So the hangover pill from Himalaya
Yes.
is the Party Smart.
Yeah.
It's really doing well now.
It is in Korea, isn't
Yes,
it?
it's in Korea. I actually recently saw in one of the Korean airlines selling inside the airline. So
Yeah, in
that's
the magazine.
Yeah, so the Himalaya products are very good. They're doing well. But I think in coming times, you will see a lot of Indian superfood because India has a lot of good herbs coming from the Himalayas.
Yeah.
And, Korea is amazing, but I meet my friends and they have issues with sleeping and few disorders. So I think we have to understand, like, this herbs, ancient history and culture, we can actually borrow some knowledge and wisdom from there and make our life feel much healthier and better.
I think Koreans will be really up for that because we take a lot of health supplements already.
Yes.
So we'll be on board.
I always say this. Like, I mean, like, I don't know. I'm 46. I get a lot of compliments from my skin.
Yeah,
and,
you have like a 30-year-old skin.
I've never been to any skincare,
Wow.
So nothing.
Yeah.
And I always say, like, the reason is I consume Korean superfood and Indian superfood. I'm the mix of kimchi and turmeric.
Both of them.
Both of the superfood.
Wow, yeah. Turmeric is, I know, already fairly popular, but I think it was with you.
Do you have enough time, Peter?
Yeah.
Can I give you a little quick, fast Indian boost up?
A tip, yeah.
So turmeric, you can find it anywhere now in Korea, right? Turmeric, a little bit of cumin, a dash of lime, cinnamon, boil it with ginger, cool down the water, consume a glass of that for 1 week in the morning, not more than 1 week, empty stomach. You will see the changes of your life.
But only for 1 week. Like if you do it long term, not so good.
Too much of something is bad enough.
Yes.
We've been told that, right?
Oh, really? So 1 week and boost
you can
you
do
up.
maximum 2 weeks. Any good supplements, be ginseng, I recommend, like, don't do it forever. Just keep, like, so this, if you do this for 2 weeks max, your liver get detoxifies and you have a lot of good energy.
Wow.
Yeah.
But if you do it too long, it could be
Everything
too much.
should be under, like,
In
not
moderation.
too much. Like, you go, this is good for me, I will just keep on drinking this. No, doesn't work like that.
That's what I do. And then I don't feel very well after like a month or so. Yeah.
There
I
you
need
go.
more lessons in life from Lucky. Oh, I need a liver detox as well. I'm going to do that. We have our quiz time. This is Peter's on the blog, and it's an optional quiz, Lucky.
Okay.
You can say no.
No.
I don't want to do it. But let me say but first. There are some great prizes. There are some average prizes as well. And if you get the question wrong, it can be embarrassing. So you can say no.
Nope.
But Athma, our Indian listener, is on board. So I think you should say yes, because she said that's nice. A mix of kimchi and turmeric is what Lucky is consuming. So considering you're in Korea, and the question... it's a good question. It's not like an easy question.
Okay.
So it's always interesting to see if the guest can get it right or not. And when they get it wrong, I like the reaction. So I'll give you two options. Would you like to do the quiz? A, yes, or B, yep? A or B?
Yeah, my favorite word in Korean, nenio.
I am going to answer on behalf of Lucky and say you're doing the quiz. That's what we've got for the quiz, yes.
I love my options.
And so we talked about this in the song break, actually. Lucky is famous as well for living with a Han River view apartment, which is seen as a symbol of wealth for Koreans. You were doing some activities this weekend. So the reason that is good is you can see the fireworks from your apartment, right?
Yep.
Straight over the river. But you missed them because you're too busy this time, right?
I lived in that home to see this thing and I missed that.
It's once a year. And so your question is related to the Han River, Lucky, okay? Please guess the title of this movie set against the backdrop of the Han River. The plot involves a mysterious creature appearing in the river one day, causing chaos.
괴물. 송강호.
Oh, you've got the name in Korean.
Let's save time, okay?
송강호. Okay. Do you know the English title, though, for our foreign audiences?
I live in Korea. I think English. What was the English title?
The what? What?
The English title of this movie?
Was what?
I'm asking you.
No, it's not a direct translation. It's actually, it's okay. We'll give you the, okay, here. You got 괴물 straight away, 송강호, the English title. So you'll learn something today, Lucky. Use this in your future life. The Host.
Of course I know that.
Of course he knows. I think it was because, it was like a parasite going into the monster's head or something like that. Well done, Lucky. So you get to choose from this box of prizes.
I'm sure it says like, you can appear one more time on this radio
There
show.
are those as well. There's dinner with Peter as well. You could make me come to your restaurant then. But there is actually, I think, a fairly expensive voucher to a cafe. Okay.
I like purple.
You've chosen purple. Let's open it up.
Can I open it now?
You have to open it now, otherwise you don't get the prize. You need to squeeze it. I think it's not a twisty one.
Oh.
Okay. So opening it up.
Ta-da!
What could it be? You also could get your name mentioned on Daily K if you're lucky.
Oh!
What does it say?
No idea.
Let me read it. 잘하면 뇌색 플러팅 가능. 뇌세포 열일하게 해주는 큐브. Oh, I think it's like a Rubik's Cube to exercise your brain cells. You look very happy, Lucky. How do you feel?
I said no to the quiz. You know, the good thing is there is a carrot market. I can always upload.
There you go. Second-hand goods in Korea, easily sellable. Lucky,
No, I'm just
thank
kidding.
you so much for
Thanks,
being on
Peter.
the show. It's been great. Can you say a final goodbye to our listeners who are all interested in Korea?
I I didn't felt like I'm doing a radio show. It's just like talking with a friend, catching up over, morning breakfast. You know,
Yeah.
it's a very good setup. Thank you very much for calling me. I hope you enjoyed the show.
Thank you so much, Lucky. And you can check out Lucky on social media or on the YouTube channel, like I said, Samosa.
Yes.
That's where to find
Samosa,
you.
yes.
All right,
354.
Lucky. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you,
coming
Peter.
in.
Have a good day.